If your aquarium's less than 30 days old, you are definitely in the stage where you're wondering, is everything okay right now? Is it meant to look like this? Maybe your water's cloudy right now, or like your test kit has come back really whack, or everything's totally normal and you're just not sure if this is what it's meant to look like. And those thoughts are all completely normal. I'm gonna be walking you guys through what happens in the first 30 days of a fish tank being set up, from being totally dry to running for 1 month, totally cycled, adding fish, all the good things, and some of the things to look for that could totally go completely wrong if you do them backwards. What happens is water goes in, something causes ammonia, and then ammonia presents itself, right? Then nitrites present themselves. Both of those compounds in your water are horrible for fish, like really, really, really bad. And then nitrates show up. And after your nitrates show up, things start to chill out a little bit more. And your tank begins to take its first few steps, as long as you don't interrupt that process somewhere along the way, which beginners, as beginners do, tend to do that a lot. I know I certainly did. So these are the things to not do and to look out for the most. Now, before I start really laying this out for you guys and showing it to you in sort of like a timeline, week 1, week 2, week 3 sort of thing, what to expect, when that uncertainty really kicks in, it's important to do the opposite of what you want to do. What you want to do is just freak out and panic. What you do need to do is chill out for a second. The first thing you want to do is just stop feeding for a day and monitor. The main thing is open your eyes, look around for things that seem off. Don't feed for a day, that's very important. Then hopefully you've already got a water test kit. If not, go to the aquarium store today, not tomorrow, today. Grab yourself a test kit that's got nitrites, nitrates, and ammonia being able to be tested. Grab those things, come back, and what I want you to test first is your ammonia and your nitrites. If either of those compounds appear in any amount, do a little water change, increase your surface agitation. The next thing we've got to do here is figure out what stage of development this tank is in. In a normal environment, your fish will poo, or you'll feed fish food, and then ammonia will build up, nitrite will build up, nitrate will build up, and then the nitrates will be exported through running downstream, or plants taking it out, or in our case, as fish keepers, we will do a water change. We'll manually remove the nitrates, or like I do, densely plant your fish tanks, and sometimes you don't even have to water change. That process takes a little while to establish. The first is the presence of ammonia. That means that you're probably in your first week. The second is the presence of nitrites. That means you're probably in your second or third week. Ammonia and nitrites really start to climb in that 2 or 3 week mark, depending on how much you're feeding, how many fish are in your tank, or if you're playing it smart, you're not doing fish in your tank at all and you're adding ammonia artificially, or you're doing what's called phantom feeding to create that ammonia artificially. That presence of that last form of bacteria, when the colony starts to establish, that means that your tank is cycled. And that word will get thrown around heaps, but you know your tank is cycled when you have the presence of nitrates. So when you test your water and your nitrates aren't 0, your tank is cycled. That doesn't mean that there may not still be toxic compounds like ammonia and nitrites in your tank, meaning your tank is totally unsuitable for your fish, but it means it's cycled. And over time, not very long, but over some time, that bacteria will consume the bad stuff and you'd be ready for fish to add to the tank. The reason I just went on a long-winded explanation is you need to work out where you are. You work out where you are by testing your tank for all 3 of those things I just explained. If you've got ammonia, you're in week 1. If you've got nitrites, you're likely in week 1, 2, 3. If you've got nitrates, you're cycled and you're probably in week 3, 4. Generally by week 3, you've got nitrates present somewhere on some level, but you've still got toxic compounds. Now, your weird thing might be like, oh yeah, my tank is a bit cloudy. Might not even have to do with the water parameters. It literally could be there's some cloud. Bacteria will cloud. So when things are establishing, you might get a haze in your tank. If you've got lights that are absolutely blasting above your tank, you may get like a green haze. which is the beginning of an algae growing in your water column. And if you've got that milky cloudiness, it's either like something in your substrate that's not being processed or like caught by your filter that's creating a cloudiness, or it could literally be the bacteria is being kicked into your water column and staying there for some reason. Simple solution to that sort of thing, add some filter fleece to your canister filter, or what I like to do is I just get one of the DALUA fresh fish and shrimp filters, which have got like 2 catches. Those 2 chambers, you can actually fill with thin layers of filter fleece as well, and that will catch them out. And then when the water is clear, I'll just unclick the chamber, pull that out and replace it with another one, or I'll replace it with like the harmonic bio bricks just to give that filter some more biological surface area for more of that bacteria that we love to grow. Let's break this all the way down to week by week or day by day. If you're wanting to know how to optimize things, or you're wanting to know exactly where you're at in that sort of establishment process to work out like, damn, I've really done the right things and now my cycle has happened super fast, so my fish tank is super ready. Or maybe you have interrupted the process a few times and so it's happening super slow. You need to know where you're at. So first 3 days, this is like the, oh my God, I didn't realize it was this easy stage. You fill your tank up, you get your filter running, water is crystal clear. Maybe you've got some substrate in the tank as well. Lights are on, plants are in, that sort of thing. And so the tank looks good and the filter fleece is like working its magic, and so your water looks awesome. Easy at this point to think hard part's over. What's happening in this first sort of 3 days is the beginning, like the initial microbial life is starting to develop. So you may see little bits of algae, like brown stuff forming on the glass, and you may be inclined to want to like scrape that off and get your filter to catch it out. Just leave it. Don't touch anything for the first 3 days. The next stage is like day 4 all the way through to day 10. And this is where it's starting to get real now. Ammonia is being produced because you're feeding your fish, or your fish are producing waste, or you're like phantom feeding and that food is starting to produce ammonia. The presence of ammonia means you're creating a food source for a bacteria to grow. Right now though, your tank does not have the biological capacity to chew through ammonia, and you're just creating it. In this period, the only thing you really need to be testing for is ammonia. And maybe towards the end of the 10-day period, you can test for nitrites. But the presence of ammonia happens, and then your small little bacteria start to get way stronger, multiply, 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 and boom, you've got the first form of bacteria. That bacteria will consume that ammonia and turn it into nitrites. If your ammonia is rising, it's a good idea to do like small, frequent water changes, especially if you've got fish in the tank. I would recommend don't put any fish in the tank, but some beginners you just do it before you even realize what you've done. So water change. And obviously don't add too many fish and don't feed very much at all. If you're a beginner, you probably don't even understand how little fish actually need to eat, or at least to survive. It's okay to miss a few days of feeding, especially at the start. And it's okay to feed less than you think, especially while the tank is cycling. The next stage, day 10 to day 20, the nitrite stage. This is where your ammonia levels drop. And you're like, yeah, sick, it's all good, I'm out of the woods. No, you're not. It gets worse. Nitrites are a way tougher, a way more hench, a way more toxic compound for your fish. Now, that second group of bacteria are starting to form. They're still not strong enough yet though. At this stage, day 10 to 20, same routine applies. Just test the water, do small water changes, monitor your fish, that's important, and make sure you're not feeding too much. Then that last stage, 20 to 30, stabilization. What'll happen is the presence of nitrates will occur, meaning that that colony of bacteria that processes nitrites and turns them into nitrates is doing its job. So you'll notice your nitrite levels are dropping, your ammonia levels are dropping, your nitrate levels are rising. Same thing, water change, just keep doing the basic things. If you find your ammonia or your nitrite levels are rising, at this stage, it's very important that you take your fish out, stop feeding the tank. You've got an issue where one part of that bacterial growth hasn't happened properly. And to go back and fix this now is gonna have your fish in a really, really stressful environment for way too long, and you're probably gonna lose them. So now's the time. If it climbs, to go back to your aquarium store, say, hey, can I give these back to you? Can you hold them for me? Or go to a mate and be like, hey, can I put this in your tank? Whatever. Just get your fish out of that tank before things go even worse. But generally when nitrates appear, you can sigh a sigh of relief because it's done or it's happening. You are getting a way more toxic compound, which is nitrates, in comparison to a quite toxic set of compounds, your ammonia and your nitrites. Your biological cycle is established and it's just getting stronger. Once you're here, just keep doing water changes until your ammonia is 0, your nitrites are 0, and your nitrates are, between 0 and 15 or 20. That is a stable tank. Along this journey, there's plenty of things that you want to do that you absolutely should not. The first is clean your tank. Do not clean in this period. Don't scrape the glass. Don't pull your filter apart and wash it all out. Do not clean. Let that biology be biology. No one's cleaning nature. No one's going out there and cleaning the rivers and the rocks and stuff like that. Don't do it in your fish tank, especially if you want things to establish fast. Second thing is go for simplicity. So if you've got all of these lights and filters and stuff like that you've got in your tank because you went to the store and you were like, this is gonna be so cool, that's gonna be so cool, Don't go cranking your lights. Don't get a really, really expensive filter. To be honest, when I cycle a tank, I literally just use those DALUA fish and shrimp filters with the nozzle out the top because it's runoff of air, great for backup, aerates the water, and it gives that biological surface area for that bacteria to grow. That is as simple as it gets. Sometimes I'll add a product that will aid or will introduce that bacteria, like a liquid bacteria. But honestly, I use that filter, I fill it with media that's from other fish tanks and put it in the chambers. And then I run that filter in the tank and it's cycled within a week and a half. That's not even a joke. Remember guys, lots of weird stuff happens in the first stages of your tank. Let me know what happened in your fish tank in the comment section because someone else is going to be out there wondering what's going wrong, feeling like they're the only person in the world that's experienced this. They'll read your comment and be like, sick.